Hello, everyone. Welcome to my channel. I'm Lizette, and this is Lily So New York. And today we are talking about three summer dresses, my summer dress series, and that would be these three ladies right here. Um, Basically, I try to sew some dresses for the summer because I don't have a lot of summer dresses um, to combat the heat of the summer. And when I started this series, which was in the beginning of June, we were just entering a heat wave of sorts. And so I said, I need clothing that is light and airy and that I can just sew up very quickly without too much fuss. Um, so I went down this rabbit hole of looking through my patterns, um, and I came across um, the first one was McCall's 7946, and the second one was McCall's 7948, and then the third one was Butterick 6333. Those were the three that I decided to go with first because they were easy to do. So within 1 or 2 days max, and um, I had eyelet fabric in my stash that I needed to I need to use some of my fabric because I have a lot and that I have stored over the years, and unfortunately, I have all of the creative um, stores or craft stores that are now in my area that are closing down. My go-to spot um, is shutting its doors. Unfortunately, I do believe it is, although the owner never stated this, um, I do believe it's because of the tariffs. So, unfortunately, the only place that I would have or would be able to go to is Midtown Manhattan, which is the garments district. And although most people would absolutely kill to be in that district, um, and they do have absolutely amazing, gorgeous fabric. None of those fabrics would be in my budget. So, unfortunately for me, um, I don't have the funds right now to purchase $25 per yard for fabric. That's not happening. Times are hard, and um, spending that kind of money for fabric just is not fitting in my equation. So, you know, I already had fabrics here, and stores are closing. So, one and one equals two. And yeah, we decided to go with what we had rather than purchasing more fabric. Um, I decided to use all my eyelet fabric. I do have a purple eyelet fabric that I absolutely adore because my favorite color is purple, all shades of purple. Purple and teal are my favorite colors. And so I want to find something that I can be happy with putting scissors to that fabric, if you know what I mean. So I decided to not use that just yet because I'm trying to make up my mind as to what I want to do with it. If it's a dress, if it's a top, what it is. there is a complementary um, fabric that I have for that eyelet as well. So I was thinking in the lines of maybe a pair of pants with a top. But then again, I may make another another dress if if I find the right pattern for it. I'm still debating. I do have a lot of um, patterns on the side that are in the running for potentially becoming being used with this fabric, but we shall see. Um, so yeah, so we've made these three so far. Um, Currently, this is July the 25th. So none of these dresses were hard to make. I started in June um, with the blue dress. Um, so I started June 5th with the blue dress, and I ended that June the 28th. Now, it took me that long because it's not the only thing that I'm doing. And because I don't always have the time nor access to this room that I'm currently sitting in because I share it with my son. So, was it a difficult dress to do? Absolutely not. Within, I'd say, uh, 2 days, I had the majority of the dress already done. The only thing was the gathered part. That was the only part that I took a long time to get to. Not because it was difficult, but because, again, time and access prohibited that. But it was a simple pattern to do, beginner friendly. Um, I used a embroidered eyelet fabric. Um, as you can see, some of the shine on there is from the embroidery. It's really pretty fabric. Um, all of the fabrics that I have there are somewhat sheer, so it is see through somewhat, um, but not a big deal. Um, there are plenty of people showing way more than I would in any of these dresses, so I'm not sweating it. Um, then I did the which dress did I do? Um, then on the 28th, after I finished the blue one, I started this dress here. And that one was pretty straightforward as well. There's gathers, as you can tell, but it is a loose gathered dress, and there really isn't much to the dress at all. So within a day, I started on the 28th of June and I ended on the 3rd of July. So within a couple of days, I had the dress completed. It was not difficult to do. The instructions were not difficult to understand. Um, and that is also it's not an eyelet fabric. It is an embroidered fabric, but it's very similar to the eyelet one. Um, so it's within the same ballpark. And um, I did I did place a lining on the top part of it just because I wanted to see how much coverage it would give. Um, could I take it out? Absolutely. Do I want to? No, not really. It was just an experiment, and I wanted to see how it looked. And I didn't have enough of the lining. I didn't have enough of the lining to do the entire dress. So Yeah. So we just left the front panel. We just left the front panel. But I'm not mad at it. It is what it is. It'll stay exactly like that. But if for whatever reason I want to take it off, it's not difficult to do. Uh, to remove the lining because it's attached to the arm and to the bottom portion of where the gathers are. Um, it's not attached to the facing at all. It's just the front part. So it could be removed if I want to take it out, but it's not a big deal. Again, the dress is very simple to do, a few days tops, and it was done. Um, Now the third dress, which is 6333, um, from Butterick, I started that on the 5th of July, and finished it. I finished this one the 22nd of July. Again, because I'm not in a rush to do any of these dresses. Like, it, I, I'm not the type of person to want to do any of my projects in a rush. Like, I'm not rushing to put anything out for content or anything like that. Um, so I take my time about it because I do want them to come out well. Um, and sometimes rushing, you forget things. Things get, oh my God. When you rush, that's when things just start uh, causing havoc. The machines don't work. You run out of thread. You run out of something. It's always something. So I like to take my time about it, make sure that I have everything I need, and just take it slow. So started this on the 5th, ended it on the 22nd of July. The only thing that I changed about the dress was the collar. I didn't put the band around the collar, again, because mm, sometimes I wear my hair out, um, and I don't want my hair to get the collar all looking all fugazi. Um, and also because we are going through menopause, and I don't want anything sticking to me. I don't want anything causing me more heat than I already have. Um, so I decided not to put the band on the collar. So we, we're keeping it simple with the collar, but everything else, it has pockets. I did add on the sleeves from View C, um, instead of leaving it um, sleeveless. So I decided to give her sleeves because the other ones do not have sleeves, but I didn't want to give a full sleeve. Just something to cover up the shoulder. For chilly nights, when you're out and things of that nature, um, I decided to give her some sleeves. Other than that, there really isn't. She has a front band, and I added the buttons. I didn't use cover buttons like I used for that one, but that one only had one button. This one has 11. So I didn't want to go through all of that. So I just used the buttons that I had on hand. And again, a very simple dress to make. It wasn't difficult at all. Um, she came out lovely, and I will cue now the footage of the process of some of these dresses. Um, this will be in two parts because this dress um, took a little longer because it has more going on. The band, the sleeves, the collar. Um, so I will post about this one in the next vlog. Um, but I will give you my process of how I went about all of this for these two in this vlog. And I hope you enjoy it. I hope you stay through to the end. And let me know in the comments what you think and if you've ever tried making any one of these dresses. And I will be seeing you in the next vlog. Um, give me a thumbs up if you so choose to, and subscribe to my channel. I would love to have you here. Until next time, guys. Bye.
Hey guys, I'm here shopping and going through my stash of fabric, um, trying to figure out what it is that want to, I have in mind. Um, I basically have in mind to make a bunch of like summer dresses for me to wear. I'm going through menopause and I'm always hot, and then one minute I'm cold, and I've gained some weight around the middle, and I feel uncomfortable in my clothes. And so right now, Lizette is not feeling like Lizette. So um, I'm thinking maybe I can make some dresses for the summer, something that is not sticking, something similar to what I'm wearing, where it's not sticking to my body in any way. It's allowing me to breathe, but I don't particularly care for very short dresses, anything below the knee. And so I'm going through my um, stash of fabric and also my stash of patterns, and I've come across um, two patterns that I would like to try. And the first one is 7946, um, and I would like to do this view here, which is view D. Um, so I'm gonna try to see if I can find a fabric that would accommodate that. And then 7948, which is Nicole's um, view C, which is this one right here. Are in the throws right now. I have all of these patterns here. Um, as you can see, I have them. I've taken them out of the binders, and these are the ones that are uh, the contenders for the dresses that I have in mind. Um, I tend to put those aside. I tend to go through my binders, select the patterns that I am most interested in, and I keep them separate so that I don't have to keep going back and forth to the binders. Um, so right now I'm looking at this fabric here, which is a light blue eyelet. You can't really, at this angle, you can't really see how pretty it is, but it's embroidered. And this is also embroidered, and it's white. And then I have um, a purple eyelet one, which is really pretty, and I think this one is going to be the winner, because I love purple. And then we have this other white eyelet. I also have to make myself some elastic waisted pants, and I would like to make myself some tops. It's a lot. I really don't have a lot of summer clothing right now that fit me, but I do have a lot of fabric and I know how to sew and I have machines. So I kind of think we have to get on the ball and try to whip up some more garments for the summer. Um, so we're gonna do that. I'm just going through my bins right now. I have a bunch of bins that have fabric in it, and so that's what I'm doing right now. I will show you these at a different angle so that you can see the fabric a little bit better. We shall see. Okay, so this is a different direction. So the window is in front of me, so that way you can see the fabric. But the fabric, this is an eyelet in purple, lavender, which is, purple is my favorite color. Purple and teal are my favorite colors. So this is definitely a contender. I think I have about 4 yards. I have my trusty yardstick, so I will measure that to make sure that I have enough fabric. Now, I have this eyelet one, and then I found in my stash this crepe fabric, and it is just absolutely beautiful, and it feels amazing. And I think I want to make a pair of pants and a top. So these two would be worn together, but they can also be worn separate. So I think that that's where I'm going to go with that. I don't know. I think I have a pattern in mind for the top, but I'm not for certain. I would be debating that because I haven't gone through my tops yet. And I also need to go through my patterns to find the pair of pants that I would want to make with this fabric here, because I need it to be elastic, because again, they have to be wide leg and they have to have an elastic back at least, because I'm fluctuating in weight and I don't want anything to be too uncomfortable and form-fitting for me right now. And to be honest with you, I'm kind of over that whole everything has to be stuck to your body, because I'm 54, and although that's great for some women who are very thin and who are 54 and still looking like a model, that is not me. So yeah, I don't feel I think you should wear whatever makes you feel comfortable, and what makes you feel attractive. And I'm all about comfort right now. I have no desire to be snatched up in any way, shape, or form. So we're going through patterns for dresses for the summer, elastic waisted pants, wide leg, and loose fitting tops, because I have the feeling that this summer in New York City is going to be rather warm. At least those are the predictions. So with that being said, we need to wear clothes that are going to be loose fitting, comfortable, and light in color because, yeah, it's summertime and we need to get a whole new set of clothing going on here. But anyway, um, so like I said before, I have bins here, as you can see, bins that have nothing but fabric in it. So my yarn stash is way smaller than my fabric stash. That's only because I just recently started picking up on crocheting, and I don't want to overdo it like I did with the fabric. Although I'm very happy with my fabric stash, because clearly everything in these bins I hand selected because I like them. And so it's nice being at home and not having to step outside to go look in a fabric store for fabric that you hope you will find that you would like when you already have it here. So I feel very fortunate right now that I have fabric to choose from at my disposal. So I'm going to continue to look and I will keep you posted on how far we get. I'll see you later. Okay, so here is the dress um, from the back and the front. And like I said, it's too short for my liking, but I am going to add the ruffled part at the bottom. So there will be some length to it. But the top is really cute. You could even, this can even be done as a top. Like, you can make it into a blouse. You can shorten it here, and then it would have like a peplum type thing. It looks really cute this length as well, but like I said, I'm not too comfortable with wearing or maybe I can also lengthen it, like not put the ruffled part and just lengthen it a little bit so that it's longer at the length in which I'm comfortable, and not put the ruffled part. This fabric has a little ruffled edge at the end of it, and I really like that. So, I was trying to incorporate that into the dress. But it's not really necessary. I could have just extended the length of the front panel and the back panel, and just made it a simple dress. Just like this, just without the ruffled part, and just make it a little longer. So that's also an option. But we'll see how the option that I chose, we'll see how that works out. I don't know. I may or may not like it. Who knows? But at least it's a dress that can be worn, to go to a picnic, to go out in the evenings, to go out during the day. It's a pretty dress. I like the color that I chose. I like that it's an eyelet dress fabric with embroidery on it. It's nighttime here. It is currently going to be 9 p.m. I'm still at it. It's a Saturday, but so I'm not too concerned. But you would be able to see more of the detail of the fabric during the day. I just wanted to get on here to show you where I am, and to show you how it looks, and how it's coming along. But we will see. Maybe I will be finishing this tonight, and then we'll record something the next day. Talk to you later. Bye. Okay, so the dress is almost completed. I just have to attach the ruffled part. I had to sit here, and that's the one thing about making ruffles that are just, or gathers I should say, that just drives me insane, is having to sit here and attach this ruffled part to the dress without it like being uneven. Make sure that the gathers are distributed a little bit, not too much on one side and not the other. And yeah, it just gets a little nuts. But for the most part, she is looking she's looking pretty good. She's complete. She's got the the straps attached. The elastic is already inserted in the casings, and all I have to do is the ruffle now, and then she's done. I did have to, because of the ruffle at the bottom, and I wanted to get this this edge on it. I didn't want to cut it off. I wanted the edge at the bottom of the dress. There was no way for me to position because you had to cut it on the fold, and there was no way for me to do that without messing up or not cutting up the edge. I had to cut it in pieces. So in the front and in the back, basically I had to, instead of 2 separate parts, I had to do 4 parts. So there's a line in the front, but I mean, can you tell that it's there? No, not really. And if you do, then you're looking too hard. But I don't really see anybody or anticipate anybody looking at my dress so roughly. And you really can't tell that there's a seam in the front of it. And there's the seam in the front, and then there's a seam in the back as well, because I had to do it in 4 parts. But I mean, it is what it is. It's a summer dress. It doesn't have to be such a serious situation. It's not a couture gown that's going to be on the runway, you know. So it is what it is at this point. It's just for me to be cool in the summer heat here in New York. So I will complete that tomorrow, because it's late now. It is now 1:17 in the morning. I will fix this, or I'm sorry, it's definitely late because I can't even talk. I will sew this ruffled part tomorrow, or later on today, I should say, and then I will take pictures of it with it on, and then you'll be able to see it. I'll talk to you later. Bye. Have a good night. All right, guys. So as you can see, I finished the blue eyelet. I'm just gonna call it blue eyelet. The blue eyelet dress. I finished her, so she's fully completed. No pins or anything. She's looking very cute. So she's McCall's 7946, and she is view D right here. And she's in blue eyelet. It's a pretty see-through fabric, but we're currently at 101, 102 the weather today in New York City. So we're going through a heat wave. So see-through, it's not like no one has ever seen, you know, underwear underneath outfits before. So we're not breaking the mold here. So it's okay that it's see-through, because it's a summer fabric, and it is needed for this type of weather. I also am finishing up this young lady here, and she is McCall's 7948, and I am doing view C, and I have completed her. Well, I haven't completed her because I have to bind the sleeves. So we have to finish the sleeve, and I also have to place a button in the back. So I have to place a button in the back here for the closure, and I have to put a hook. I mean, well, a thread hook. I have to do for her. But she's also an eyelet, embroidered. Well, she's not really eyelet because she doesn't have the little holes or whatever, but she's embroidered, and the fabric is also pretty thin. But I put, because I didn't feel so comfortable with the top being so see-through, I tried something and then I just left it midway. I left it midway. So I put a lining on this, on the front panel, the front panel only. And I just left it like that. I didn't do it throughout the entire dress, or the back for that matter. But we will try them on, and I will take pictures of it so that you can see how they look a little later on.